Great peace, great peace, great peace, Shakoki. So I want to talk about haplogroups real quick. And that haplogroup M for mtDNA, it arrived in America around 17,000 years ago. So I have that in my mtDNA at, a good percentage. I forgot how much it was. I think it's below 10%, maybe around there. But it's there because M comes from L. When you look at the morphism of haplogroups and the different genetic sequences. Um, so you get that from your mother. So you're like someone who it has been called African American, Black American, and stuff like that. You probably have M in your haplogroup. So I got that from my mother. You know, that's interesting. Um, and then we also have L. I have L like at 95%. I think I went over that. But this is what I saw as a kicker, right? That E1B1 is a great percentage of it that comes out of Spain. So if you have E1B1, you're indigenous to Spain as well. That's what I saw when I was reading on Google. E1B1 comes out of Spain as well. So that's North Africa. You're talking about Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt, Libya, Ethiopia, North Africa, Spain. So that's what they're not telling the world about E1B1, right? And they're also not telling us about the fact that, that M comes from L. But they always say L got here around the transatlantic slave trade time when they were carried over as slaves or something like that. But M is saying we got here 17,000 years ago. You know what I mean? So that's incredible. That's an incredible find right there. When you can find that and put that together and kind of see like, okay, maybe I'm not being lied to, that's incredible to find that. I had no idea, and I just searched it. I'm like, I need to find out more about what haplogroups are putting us in America, and it just happens to be, your mother's side, that's mtDNA, right? She doesn't inherit the Y DNA. The mtDNA is what allows her to carry on her mother's seed, her grandfather's existence and stuff like that. So that's unique. That's unique in a lot of parts. That's unique. I had no idea. I had no idea. So let's study our mtDNA and see what haplogroups we have. Because if you have any of those haplogroups that's mtDNA, that's putting you in America at some point in time. Especially if you have L, you need to find out when L got here. For particularly you, right? Because I know for me, right, the lady who I thought was my cousin through my African side, right, which I thought I had, she said she wasn't African, and I thought she was. So I've been unable to find really who's necessarily recent African ancestry who's in my DNA. I'm finding Mexicans in my DNA, Europeans, obviously. Like I'm pretty much Afro-Mexican, because my great-grandmother, she's from Mississippi, and she was Choctaw, so that's what I'm finding out, as I do my research. So because we're not told exactly in the school curriculum where we all come from, even though we're like a mixture of people. Like we got Negritos we go to school with, you know what I'm saying? We got Europeans we go to school with. We got all type of people, but they be black. That's the thing. You don't know where their origin is from. We're definitely from Central America and South America, without a doubt. If you have like M in your mtDNA, you know, you need to check that out. Or even L, you know, because like that goes back to the Olmec civilization. The first Americans were Africans, you know, so you got to figure that stuff out. It's a good study to find out about, you know. So that's all I want to do. Let me charge up my phone, see if I can find some more information. Great peace, Yakoki.